Tell me about your experience on 9/11. It sounds like you were one of the fortunate ones.
Yeah, I was injured coming out of Tower 2, and I was knocked unconscious coming out of the tower. Ended up in Beekman Hospital, was hospitalized for 4 days. And then, throughout the weeks after, I formed a group with Anthony Gardner called the WTC United Family Group to bring family members, survivors, together with others to create a bond or shared experience. And then we formed a bond with Oklahoma City, which we brought into the fold, and that was really critical to my healing. And every year since, we've come down to Oklahoma City for 10 years now to be part of their anniversary, and then we brought them up to partake in our anniversary on 9/11. So it's been a very big experience for us. We've also developed a curriculum program. 9/11 education was really severely lacking. And what we did is we developed in a high school curriculum the first comprehensive nationwide education curriculum called September 11th Education Trust to provide kids an opportunity to learn about 9/11 through authentic accounts from family members, survivors. Rudy Giuliani is our ambassador for that program, so a very big part of what we're doing now to move forward and heal.
Mike, talk to me about how that effort that you channeled, I guess, your energy into helped you get through what was obviously a very sad time. You mentioned you lost friends,
Yes.
you were injured, you were involved with Oklahoma City. I mean, there's a lot of sadness there too. How do you not get bogged down with all of that and keep moving forward?
I think it's all about moving forward. I think resiliency is a real key for survivors and family members. How do you get up every day and channel that? A lot of us had survivor guilt and other things that were really preying on us, and I think the idea is to do something positive to help and bring people together. People here that I'm with today are family. 9/11 family, Oklahoma City family. They share that common denominator of being a victim of terrorism. Our life has changed forever, but how do we move forward? We're a changed person. We have to create a new normal. The person I was on September 10, 2001 is a different person than I am now. And these people here can understand that the people from Oklahoma City can help us. They were 6.5 years ahead of us. So it's been very special.
Mike, tell me sort of the progress of people that you knew 10 years ago or 9 years ago when you first started getting together with this to where they are now. I mean, what kind of a journey has that been?
I think for every family member, survivor, it's a different journey. And I think everyone has their own path on how they get to that end place. And I think some have found things like the Oklahoma City connection, and others have found different path. And I think everyone is unique in its own right. And I think the healing path can differ. It could be 5 years, 10 years, and some people will need 20 years. I think we'll need these support programs for the next 15, 20, 30 years. We saw a Holocaust survivor here today. That's what these groups are here for, because you never heal fully from an event such as 9/11. I think you just have to learn to live and channel it in your own manner in a way that can positive and can help others.
Can you talk a little bit about when the planes hit the towers and what you were trying to do when you were injured?
Well, my wife worked for Marsh & McLennan. She would have been on the 100th floor of Tower 1. I ended up actually trying to call her. She was on her way downtown, didn't make it into the building. I got trampled when the second plane hit. I was under the impact of the second plane hitting Tower 2, and that was how I was injured. So I remember seeing the plane hit the building. I don't remember anything since. And that was a very something I will never forget. A visual that is something that I'll never really, to relive it again is something that is very hard to see images of.
Is it intrusive in a sense that the people like myself and other media that are all over the place here for this and what they're trying to do? I mean, do you feel uncomfortable with that kind of intrusion in your life?
I find telling my story and telling others, I think that's what we're here to do. I think if we don't tell the story for future generations, they won't know. There's so many untold stories on 9/11 that are here. A lot of people don't know that the unidentified remains have not been returned to the memorial, so we still have a lot of battles. The sphere has not been returned to the site, so we still have a lot more issues and concerns that we want to have addressed. So it's been a lot of compromise over the last 10 years working with the bureaucracy in New York City to get a proper memorial for our loved ones. I think that's still not exactly where we want it to be. Next year when the Memorial Museum is in place, that will be the final judge and jury on whether we can really be happy or satisfied with the progress. Right now, all we're going to see tomorrow is the Memorial Plaza, but we want to see the museum that tells the story of 9/11.
Is there too much politics being interjected into this?
There always was, because you have a place, 16 acres, that had a lot of constituents that had a lot of financial interest at play, and I think that made it very hard. I think Rudy Giuliani has been the biggest supporter of us, saying that the memorial really is the focal point of whatever drives this site going forward, but not everybody shared the same opinion as Mr. Giuliani.
What would you like to tell Wisconsinites, other Americans who can't make it down here tomorrow to be part of this, but are
it's a
still
national
part of
tragedy. I mean, 9/11 is not just something for New York, not something just for Oklahoma City or any of it was America's tragedy, and I think for all of us, we're Americans. I think the unity we had on 9/11 and for the days and weeks ensuing is something that should really bond us together. People should remember and never forget, because it is so critical to have that shared experience that all of us have as Americans. It was a war, a terrorist attack that affected our country and other countries too. We had 168 countries that were impacted by 9/11.
That could explain why we're hearing so many different dialects and accents and that type of thing around here.
Absolutely.
A final question for you. How are you going to feel, do you think, tomorrow? Is it something you won't know really until it happens, or do you get a sense already?
I don't have there's never any closure. I think next year, actually, believe it or not, will be more critical when I see the museum. That's really, I think, where the families are going to be end up grieving and having a place to honor, because really having, right now, we don't have anything anywhere to go. The museum is going to really tell the story of 9/11 and give some stories and color to the people who died on that day. Just names on a wall doesn't tell the entire story. It's what about people who were going to work that day and didn't make it home. We need to hear those stories and tell the stories of the 2,800 folks who perished on that day.